was a very scary moment late in the third quarter in last night's Celtics game. Jaylen Brown went in for a dunk, got caught in the rim, and fell on the back of his head. He was down for a while, but got up and walked off the court. He was evaluated for a concussion, and after the game tweeted, quote, "I'm okay, got a headache, though." Skip, what was your reaction when you first saw the fall?
Joy and Shannon. In all my years of covering the National Basketball Association, I have never, ever seen a worse fall than that one. I immediately feared the worst. I immediately tweeted, please let Jaylen Brown be all right. I couldn't remember anyone in all my years, dating back to the 70s here in Los Angeles covering this league, anyone in the NBA ever running that fast, then trying to break his momentum by hanging onto the rim, losing his grip with both hands. I don't know if he's a little sweaty. He's sweaty. The rim's sweaty. Who knows what it was. But he lost his grip. It swung his legs straight up in the air, and he fell full force on his upper back and neck. And you had enormous potential, enormous risk for both spine and head injuries. Career-threatening injuries, obviously. And even Jaylen Brown's immediate reaction was one of, you could just see the shock in his eyes, like something bad had just happened.
I think he was concussed. You see how you know how guys skip in football.
Like glassy eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I remind you, I was there at the Fabulous Forum the night, December 9th, 1977, that the Lakers, Kermit Washington, and this is a little before your time, but he stepped into a punch that he threw and landed flush into the jaw of one Rudy Tomjanovich of the Rockets, who was running toward the skirmish, you see right here, and he dropped him. And I was then sent by the Los Angeles Times to Sentinel, a hospital in Inglewood, to basically sit all night waiting because they weren't sure Rudy Tomjanovich was going to make it through the night because he had such a broken jaw, but serious head injuries, blood on the brain.
He started leaking spinal fluid into his nasal cavity.
He was. And I saw that live, and trust me, I didn't think at that moment that that was as bad as I thought this was. Ernestine was watching with me, and she couldn't even watch the replay. She didn't like any kind of violence, and she thought this could be it for that young man. And my next shock was that he sat up. And my next shock was, good shock, he got up. And then all of a sudden, he's walking up the tunnel somewhat under his own power, a little assistance. And we hear after the game, he's mostly, they think, okay. Mostly okay. A lot of tests are going to be done, but he tweets that he just has a headache. Well, if that's true, that young man was extremely lucky that he didn't land just an inch this way or an inch that way, or maybe that his head didn't hit harder on the hardwood floor. Because it's hardwood now. It's got a little spring to it, but it's hard. And he hit it about as hard as I've ever seen a full body come down with no ability to brace or to break the fall. No ability whatsoever.
Skip, I agree with you. It was a scary fall, and I'm sure the Celtics were thinking, we just had a very scary situation the first game of the season with Gordon Hayward. Not now. What happens, Skip? He's going so fast. He wants to dunk the ball and then push himself back out and go the other way. But he dunks the ball and he just has his fingertips. Probably sweaty, and his momentum is going, and boom. I remember, I think I was in like the 7th or the 8th grade, and I was watching a high school basketball tournament, and a guy underclipped him, and he fell on the side, this right here, and his teeth were in the floor. But this is scary, Skip, because just think how lucky he got the upper back. He could have easily another half an inch, and that's full force on the back of his neck and his head. I think for them to allow him to get up, to allow him to walk off, they feel very, very comfortable. Because normally they always err on the side of caution. They strap you down. They don't let you move.
I thought they were about to.
And they roll you in.
They brought it out like they were going to strap him.
So the mere fact that they allowed him to do that, they feel very, very comfortable. I probably would have erred on the side of caution anyway and still strapped him down and ushered him off. And then once we get him to the facility, we look at him and then make sure he's okay. but it was a scary fall. And I'm sure because I think he was more, I thought he was concussed. That was the first thing I thought because his arm was stiff.
It was.
So I'm saying, okay, he doesn't know where he is right now. And then as he started to come back too.
Yeah.
But this was scary. I'm sure it was scary for him. He's never gone through anything like this, and you never know. The least little thing. I mean, Gordon Hayward had gone up 100 times, 1,000 times from middle school and high school and college and NBA and caught lobs. Just this one time, Skip.
One time.
Just one time, and that's all it takes. Just when you play professional sports, especially this, you never know. It's a jump, it's a hit, and then boom.
What I love the most about Jaylen Brown is he's obviously a talented kid. He's 21 years old.
Yes.
He plays so hard every night on both ends. And this was one of those plays where you are all out.
Right.
You're on a break and you're having to get up through bodies to the rim. And there are guys in this league, older players, star players, who would have just said, I'm gonna maybe not try that because it's a little dangerous what you're doing because you're getting bumped. Wiggins was there, somebody else. So you're going to get bumped, and you're going to put yourself in a precarious situation. But you're thinking, I can save myself. I'm going to hang on the rim.
Right.
You tried,
and that's why they let guys hang on the rim for that very reason,
just to save yourself.
And Skip, a lot of times this is why you see guys don't challenge guys on breakaways.
Yep.
For this very reason. Because, you going up and he's going up, and then all of a sudden legs swing out one way.
You can almost accidentally submarine.
Yes. So that's why a lot of times it's like you got to make especially once the guy's already getting ready to take flight. You try to pull him out the air, and then, he's going to come down awkwardly. You might end up hurting him. And if you don't hurt him, he's going to probably get up and swing on you because he's thinking you could have hurt him.
I agree. So I was thinking last night about your sport. And there are obviously lots of high-risk collisions. And I go back to the tragic Darryl Stingley, a little before your time, Jack Tatum hit him. But I saw that play live. And at the moment, you don't know. And, you think, ooh, but you don't think.
But you don't think he's going to be paralyzed.
No, and he was.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Football, I mean, it takes a different mindset, Skip. You heard LeBron. LeBron's like, I had my fill of that, but I'm a short and tank top guy now. They play for keeps out there. That's big boy football. And that's why I think unless you're a running back, it's really hard for someone to go straight from high school. Unless you're like Eric Dickerson, who had a pro body at 18. Herschel Walker, some of these guys, Marcus Dupree, they had pro bodies at that age.
And Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, but for the most part, Skip, them grown men out there.
You know what? Play your game. It depends on the position. Except for quarterback and maybe some of the wideouts, but you got to have one screw loose, man, because you got to be able to give up your body because you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, you can't flinch because if you ever flinch, Skip, as a wide receiver, if they ever see you like, ooh, you don't want that because it's just like a guy that fumbles. If you ever have that problem fumbling, they tackle the football. They see you flinch. Oh, he don't want to go across that middle. Let's put them hats on him. But that was a scary fall for Jaylen Brown. I'm glad to see he's okay.
For sure. He's in the league's concussion protocol, obviously, but he did fly home to Boston with the team, and Coach Brad Stevens said in the post-game press conference the doctors found any reason for concern. He would have stayed overnight in Minnesota. So, is Nick Foles on his way out of Philadelphia?
Here we go.
Discuss that next.